Well, hey there, friends. This is Debbie Keever with Laura Piraino. We have a very short video to tell you about what you have been missing on Beyond the Building on the months of November and December. We've been doing the armor of God out of Ephesians 6. And we just have some things we want to share with you real quickly. By the way, this is what it looks like when we are recording the podcast. Laura is usually sitting in her pantry down in Tennessee, and I'm in my office. But Laura, the last 2 months have been crazy difficult in recording these podcasts. I mean, we've been doing this for a year, and we have not run into the problems that we've encountered the past 2 months. We started filming in October and November because we're always a month ahead. But we've talked about this unseen enemy who doesn't want believers prepared for battle, which is why we are talking about the armor of God. But some of the things that have come up, right, over the past 2 months that have interrupted and delayed and discouraged us to the point that sometimes you're like, good grief, should we even finish? I think of the one time that you and I both have had contractors in our house for a couple months, and for us, it was trying to carve time between our two homes and contractors around the pounding and the sawing that would take place. Made it really hard for you and I to be able to get together. What were some things you remember?
I remember being in the middle of a podcast and having a ginormous cat fight going on in the background. And granted, my cats don't get along all the time, but it just seemed like that was the moment when the screaming got the loudest and we had to just completely shut it off. I remember trying to get my granddaughter to go to sleep so that I could sit in the stairwell and have a podcast because there was no place else to sit, Deb. And even just thinking that whole time as I'm sitting in the stairwell, is she going to sleep? And then speaking about the armor of God, is she going to sleep? Speaking about the armor of God. Like, talk about distractions. I think that has been the word for me. But I do think one of the things that's come out of this is a lot of humor too, which is kind of where we are today. Like, it has been a battle, and it's a good thing that I don't really keep a paper planner. I do everything on my phone because everything would be scribbled out. We have had to re-record and change dates and change times and change topics so many times. It has just been, I don't know, I think this is one of those things that makes me laugh when I go to bed at night. Like, did I really just go through this? I don't know.
Yeah, check this one scene out. I will show you here on this video. What you're seeing is Laura is sitting in her pantry, and we didn't know this about the pantry, but the light just, it goes out after a period of time. So here we are trying to record, and Laura disappears. And I'm looking at the screen going, where did she go? So it messes us up. It's just dumb stuff like that. It's little things that the enemy does not want this message out. One time you had a contractor show up when he wasn't supposed to.
Yes, and then we found out that there was something that I needed to give my full attention to for 2 days. And so whatever piece of armor we were working on at that time, it had to just be like ex-nayed, for a while until we could get back. And it's just been a crazy, crazy journey. So many things unexpected, Deb. Even one time, and I have never experienced this before, and all of my Zoom meetings or podcast times with you, Deb, there was a time where we had a third person on the podcast.
We got to experience Zoom bombing.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we were sitting there talking to each other, and somebody else asked to be invited into the platform and just showed up. And so there's a third person. I think some of the funniest takeaways, and I love the fact that this podcast is taped on Zoom because we can go back and see our faces. Yeah. And to see my face when there was another person on the podcast, it's just too funny. But there has never been a season like this for us with all of these different topics that we've done. It's just never been like this.
It's the one on battle. It's the one on a battle. I'll just share one more, and then I know you have something funny that took place because it's happening today. We upgraded some of our Wi-Fi in our house, and I have no trouble with Wi-Fi if I'm trying to look at a YouTube thing or Facebook. It's when ministry stuff takes place. It has been shutting down or freezing out of, quote, nowhere, right? Just to try to make life difficult. So, there must be something powerful in this message on the armor of God, which we're starting December now. There's a whole new series of finishing out the armor of God plus a special Christmas video. that the enemy doesn't want to get out there. So make sure you go back and listen to these pieces. If he's causing that much headache for us, you know that it's important. And even today, right, real fast, we were trying to get started and you kept freezing. Say something, Laura. Now I can't hear you. Seriously, I cannot hear you. There it goes. There it goes. See?
Crazy.
Okay, here we go. Oh, wait, now my internet is unstable. It just freezing.
Yep, absolutely. I think there's so many times when I say, Deb, is your Wi-Fi unstable? Right? Because you're frozen. And you'll say the same thing to me. Is your Wi-Fi unstable? Because you're frozen. And months ago, we were thinking about what does 2021 look like? You know, what is the word for 2021 for January for the podcast series? And we really felt on our hearts for different reasons that the word was going to be frozen, that the theme for January was going to be frozen, which of course goes along with the fact it's January and it just works so well. Today, as we're trying to tape this, we get frozen. And today I am actually in 2 hours leaving to go have a procedure done on my arm because I have a frozen shoulder. You know,
There's
I can't put my arm behind my back. Yeah. So we're just laughing, and I just wanted to invite you all, you know, after you listen to the Armor of God and get all suited up, when January rolls around, please join us for our next podcast series, our next episodes, titled Frozen. I think it's going to really speak to all of us. It's already speaking to me. And I think that even today, which is Monday, November 30th.
Yep.
Today, I am going to have some life lessons
Yes.
that I am never going to forget about having something that is frozen.
Yeah.
So please join us. We really are grateful for your support. And the Armor of God, while it has been a crazy journey, a crazy ride, it is all recorded. It is ready to roll. And we just hope that you are blessed. Let's stay suited up, you know, as we come out of 2020 and go into 2021. Who knows, right?
Who
But
knows?
we know that we can be suited up in what God has given us, so we'll be prepared for where He is leading us.
Absolutely.
So God bless you. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for laughing with us today, even with this quick video clip that Deb showed. But it's a good time. We are grateful to be doing this, and we hope that you have a great day. God bless you.
All right, take care.